Good afternoon, Big Brother fans. It is Friday, August 21st, day 46 in the Big Brother house, and a lot has gone on as we expected after a eviction and new HOH. So I'm going to get you through the quick stuff first, no holding out. You can hear it and go on your merry way, or you can wait and hear me talk in more details. But the quick update would be Angela, amazingly, won the Blockbuster competition. It was the phone booth competition where she had to gather balls. She soundly beat Camu and Haley. Actually, she had too many balls in, she decided, and so she had to take a couple out. I don't think she needed to, but she did. Risky move, didn't matter, she still won. So she was off the block. It came down to Camu and Haley. And when the rest of the house found out, Mallory and Melody quickly told Taylor that they were voting to evict Camu, but Lala and Yash and Haley didn't get the message, and so they were quite blindsided. Maybe Haley not so much as Lala and Yash, when the vote ended up being 8-1, with Lala being the only vote to evict Haley. So Camu went out. He gave a very all praise to Jesus as he headed out the door. And the kicker was when he got out the door and hugged Julie's live mic, and I'm sure she said it and she knew she was on mic, caught her saying to him, "I love Jesus too." It was quite a strange, weird moment for a reality television show. But, it is what it is. Julie talked to Camu, and he sent him on his merry way, and I will be quite happy never to hear from Camu again the rest of the season. And that's a good thing that he's out before jury, so I don't have to see him until finale when he comes back on. He did do some post-eviction interviews in which, with the two main interviewers that I follow, Sharon Tharp and Mike Bloom, both of them asked him about his comments in the gym where he pleaded out or made a suggestion out to the internet for men to message Mallory if they, interested in, getting her pregnant, as it were. He said Mallory's a comedian and she knew he was joking and they're just joking and it jokes and yes. Didn't say, wow, I didn't know it was taken that way, or maybe I should have said it. I mean, even Sharon said in her interview, it kind of bothered her the way he said it. He didn't say, I'm sorry it bothered you. I mean, the minimalist he could have done was, I'm sorry if that offended you. That's not the way it was meant. But he didn't even say that. He just said it was a joke, and Mallory knew it was a joke. So, all right, I'm going down a rabbit hole. I need to get back to the facts, but I really want to not have to talk about Camu anymore. So that's about what you'll get from me until he says something else stupid. But hopefully we don't hear from him until finale night, because I'm sure Julie will ask him a question. So, Camu's gone. In the house, the fallout from this was Mallory and Melody telling people that Drew and Barrett made them do this vote. And so they were trying to set it up in case Taylor or Lala or maybe Haley won the head of household, which they didn't, by the way. Feeds eventually go down, come back. It was a balance beam competition, and it sounds like the top three people were Mallory, Barrett, and Dee. And Dee won it, so Dee is now in her second head of household. Sounds like both Mallory and Barrett were close and kind of put their foot off the gas a little bit, so they didn't beat Dee, to let Dee take it because they feel safe with Dee. I'm not sure about that today. I think they're both safe with Dee. I'm sure Barrett is, but I think Mallory kind of is too. But we'll get to that in a second. So we now have Dee as head of household. We have have-nots. Believe it or not, Taylor and Lala both volunteered, as well as, I think, Mallory. So we have Mallory, Lala, and Taylor as have-nots again. They've all volunteered. I guess there was a bit of disgruntlement because it was also Yash's turn, and Yash did not volunteer. And so there's some annoyance with him for that. But you shouldn't volunteer. They shouldn't have have-nots. I could go on and on, right? All right, so we have our have-nots. We have our potential nominees, which initially we were seeing or Dee talking about nominating Lala, Taylor, and Yash, not nominating Ashley, or not Ashley, there we go, Ashley again, not nominating Haley because she kind of wanted to keep in good with Haley. But then today, this morning, or late last night, they turned it. And now Dee, they had a long vets meeting. And I haven't seen all these because I am out on the road for the next few days here, and so I will not get to see as much as I would like, but it is what it is, and I'm having a good time, and so we'll get through it. I will follow everybody else's updates and then tune in when I can. The long vet meeting, the end result of it was that Dee decided to bring up Yash into the head of household room, and she managed to, although we didn't get to see it because Skippy decided not to let us. He decided to get Yash to agree to the bribe, and she bribed Yash, and my understanding is that she bribed Yash never to nominate her. However, she could still potentially nominate him. She said she wouldn't, but she could, and he can't nominate her via this $5,000 bribe. So Yash is now not going on the block. So now we're down to Haley and Taylor and Lala that aren't in the Mosh Pit Alliance. So at a bare minimum, it's possible that Dee might have to put somebody up as a backup. But Dee decided that she wanted to go against Drew and kind of mess up the mosh pit and kind of put them on edge. And so and Devins and maybe Angela, I don't know, they engineered a situation where they got Drew and Yash up into the HOH room in front of the rest of the mosh pit and kind of threw Josh and Yash against each other, Drew and Yash against each other on who was engineering this whole get the vets out of the house last week. And so they've painted Drew in a really bad light. So Drew now is very likely going to get nominated later today. And it will be, I think, Drew and Taylor and Lala. And I'm not saying Drew's not going home. But wait. There is the one last power or punishment that was going to be revealed today. And indeed it was. We found out that Drew did get a power. So what was that power? Well, one of the powers that was still out there was the coin flip power, where he could take over someone's head of household. That is not the power that Drew got. Drew got the never have not pass, which means he doesn't ever have to be a have not again. That is a super weak power when you compare it to Devin's power that he used this week, where he got to take Dee down and put Kamu back up. So yeah, there's a lot of people out there pointing out that Dee and Devins are the only two that got decent powers. Now that this is the end of it, this was the last one. So Mallory and Melody both got punishments. Angela got a punishment, and Drew is the only non-vet that got a power, and it's about a week of power as you could get. So, guys, it is what it is. This season is very much geared towards the vets, and I'm watching it, and I am somewhat rooting for Dee in a way because I know how good a player she is, so I'm not necessarily mad. And I'm also rooting for Barrett because of my friendship with his friends, and so Barrett's in a fairly decent position. Dee is obviously in a good position. Now, this whole move, though, to put up Drew seems like a lot of extra work. It's going to make great TV, but it is really setting them up to be, targets going forward, which I'm okay with that too. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. We've got a whole lot to go on yet. We still have nominations to actually happen. Then we have the power veto. Then we have renoms if it's used. And then we have the blockbuster. So much could happen. But that's the basic gist of what's going on. I can't, I mean, there's more, but I'll fill you in on more tomorrow or sometime this weekend with what happens. But it's been interesting. Dee gave a 40-minute talk early this morning, to the cameras. And so if you're interested in that, I did post it this morning, and I have reposted other accounts that have shared, like the mosh pit meeting that led up to the inquisition of Drew and Yash in front of the others. So there's lots of content out there, stuff to watch. Check it out, and that's where I'm going to sign off. Shout out! Did I shout out Mark? I'm not sure if I shouted out Mark recently, and I haven't shouted out my patrons. I will do that. It's, crazy days. My bad, patrons. I will get you hopefully tomorrow or Sunday. I'll make a point to make my list so I make sure I get everybody, and we'll do that. So I think that is everything that I can cover right now. So there you go. It's Big Brother time. It is 2:30. Nominations are probably an hour or two away, but again, I'm at this point, if I had to call it, I would say Drew, Lala, and Taylor may be the 3 nominees. And now we know that apparently Yash is safe, which is crazy. Crazy. So, and $5,000 richer. All right, that's what I got. Thanks for your support, and we will talk to you all soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.